Sunshine's Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer.
And a beautiful morning it is. You know what I call this? It is hump day, guys, and from here in, it is all downhill. Happy Wednesday to you. Hopefully your day has started out on a positive note. Because let me tell you this, let me roll back. I know that it has. Why? Because you've tuned in to Sunshine's Corner right here, the hottest spot in Pensacola. This is the show where you can talk about anything. You can feel comfortable with those difficult conversations. And as always, you know this. We are going to be the place that's going to keep you informed on what's happening in and around our community, the great things that you need to know about, and even the things that are not so happy, we're yet going to share it with you. I believe that being knowledgeable of things that are happening and not guessing, this is how we move forward. And today is not going to be any different because we've got a guest that's going to be with us today. He's going to share with you some things that are totally beneficial for the community. And I believe in just partnering with those who believe as I do. And that's why we've got Eduardo here today. Did I do it right?
You did.
See? Well,
Perfect.
Good morning. You
morning,
are
Sonshine.
the communications director for CivicCon.
That's right.
Did I do that right?
That's right.
Well, look, thank you for getting up early, coming down and joining in with me, because first of all, we want everybody to know the importance. Let's just give a little history about what CivicCon is, how it started, why, and why it's so important to the community, and yet how people can get involved.
Of course. So CivicCon stands for Civic Conversations, and it's a speaker series that's put on by the Center for Civic Engagement, which is a nonprofit. And CivicCon started in 2017. Our first speaker was Chuck Marone. Some of you might remember. He was talking about strong towns and urban density and using infrastructure that's already there instead of building huge new projects.
Exactly.
So since 2017, we've had over 60 speakers on lots of different community topics, from walkability and urban development to your tree canopies, to mental health, to substance abuse, to improving school systems.
See what I mean? You touch everything.
We try. We try to cover it all.
But that's a good thing. Yeah. And some people, I think that when you say that CivicCon is all about communication, it's about communicating.
That's right.
And I think that's a key point in anything to be successful. If we can't talk about it,
that's right,
it's not going anywhere.
It's exactly right. I mean, we want people to come to the events and learn from them, and then they take what they learn, they go out in the community, and they make the changes. So. You got to empower people with the education to do
Absolutely,
that, so.
Absolutely. And see, back from 2017, you've had over 60 speakers.
That's right.
My goodness, that's a lot. Yeah. But you know what? I see the array of things that you're touching, and it's all the things that are important to the community that's happening in and around our community now. And I say that because when you went to with mental health, drug addiction,
that's right.
I mean, education for the kids, even for the adults, there are so many things that we can take away from this. And with some of the speakers, when I was looking and searching over the weeks, I can see that you've had some great, great speakers. And coming up this year is not going to be any different.
That's right.
I mean, oh my God. Now, when people want to get involved, to be involved with CivicCon, what do they have to do?
So it's really as easy as just searching CivicCon on Google. I mean,
you got that right. When you do it, it go.
It'll do everything for you. You can find our events. You can find our website. It's www.civiccon.org. You can learn all about our past events. You can see our whole video library of every speaker we've ever hosted, and our different workshops that we've had with people. And you can come to an event, see what it's all about, and then you can contribute. You can be a part of CivicCon. You can be a CivicCon member. And you get special access to meetings with the speaker afterwards and before.
If a person wants to get that special part, how can they do that?
Again, you just go to CivicCon, and there's a link that says "Become a Member" /donate. You go on there and you donate, and you're a CivicCon
You're
member.
in there.
Yeah, and you can. There's suggested donation amounts, but it's really whatever you can give. We want to keep it as open to the community as possible. And every event, regardless of if you're a member or not, is free to the public. We want everyone to be able to see it. The members just get that added little extra benefit of early announcements, things like that.
Right.
So,
That is great, because it's the fact that you see people, it is free. And when you hear that word free, and I guarantee you that says something right there, but in the fact that is even free, look at what you're going to be getting when you go into these events. It's not just a little quick buy fly something. It is very, very important that the community attend to this. And I was reading about you believe in that effective communication, and that is, how did you get in it to get to the level that And I can see it's coming from your heart.
Yeah, it took a while. You know, I started in mental health and social work. I think that's where I really got my community. My community background goes back to when I was a kid. My mother raised me to be involved in the community all the time. I was always at events and, you know, doing different.
Hi, Mom. I know your mom.
Yeah, different fundraisers and things like that. But I went to college. I got my degree in psychology. Started working with people with mental illnesses and substance abuse.
Really?
Yeah. So I've worked in psychiatric hospitals. I've worked with community health organizations, different mental health agencies, and in Indiana and Connecticut and Florida. So I worked with a lot of people from a lot of different backgrounds, and I
see why you where you are.
Yeah. So that was kind of my the mental health and social work career before it went kind of into the communication.
Of course.
Yeah. So.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And I see why you say you believe in that effective communication, because that's I believe that as well, because sometimes people, you know, I said, okay, I met you a long time ago, and I said, let me see, I think he's a talker, because that day we talked.
That's true.
And we had just met, but it was like we've known each other for quite some time as he was eating that cheese.
That's right. That melt will get you talking.
Yes, it will.
That's what it'll do.
But, you know, with CivicCon that's coming up in the community, you are invited to come out. Let's talk about what's going to be happening this year. First of all, where it's going to be held.
Of course. So our very next event is going to be with Tom Dahlborg.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about him.
So Tom Dahlborg is an expert on stopping bullying and improving childhood experiences. So he will be coming to us on Monday, October 28th, from 6 to 7:30 at the First United Methodist Church.
Right
here in downtown Pensacola. So it's right on the corner of Wright and Palafox.
Exactly.
A big white house. Big, pretty white house. It'll be in there. And he's going to talk about how to stop bullying in your community. He actually wrote a book on it, which is right here.
That's the big kid.
That's the big kid. His son, William, was bullied when he was younger. And through basketball and through some other things, he was able to overcome. He had some developmental delays as he was growing up, and he was bigger than a lot of other kids, which surprisingly not surprisingly I should say, they were able to use that with basketball and sort of empower him to overcome this bullying.
Right.
So.
And I noticed that in the book he was using sports and things that young people are into to really overcome those factors about the bullying effect, because sometimes kids, oh God, I don't know what it was called when I was growing up, being bad. I mean, no, but with the bullying factor, I see the concept that he's using. And I'm saying that to say, with that, and I think with him coming, because we were talking before we came on about the fact how it is today with the younger kids. And what you call with the weapons they have, that's not just bullying, that's something
completely different.
That is something completely different, because I mean, oh my God.
That's part of a larger problem. That's not, it's.
But do you think though, and we're not talking about, but we're just talking now to see what we think about, even with the concepts that's in the book and understanding it. There's some things that maybe that can gear from the bullying that escalates to what they're doing with the gun violence, you think?
That's right. Well, because bullying can take lots of different forms. I mean, just bullying can be something as simple as exclusion, and it's not always what we thought bullying was, even when I grew up, with just name calling and shoving and just giving somebody a swirly or a noogie or whatever it is. Now it's much more psychological, and it can be very damaging that way.
Exactly.
So it goes to you isolate a person. That's the quickest way, I think, to really make them struggle internally. So,
right. And bullying nowadays, I think, I don't know, I'm going to go back to when I was a child just a few weeks ago.
That's right, just a couple weeks ago.
But the fact of it is, I don't know if we called it, I don't know, it wasn't something back then as it is now. And even I'm thinking with your generation, it wasn't as heavy as it is today. So therefore, I'm trying to see, and I'm pretty sure if a parent has not, if you want to find out some points of things to look for and things to do to help stop that, get this book.
And actually, so if you come to the event on Monday, October 28th, the first 100 people to arrive will get a free copy of the book.
Oh,
so
really?
That's right.
And believe me, there are so many analogies in this book that use with sports and other activities that can be a way to use to combat some of the things so that you can get that child into the focus that they need, even when it comes to bullying.
Yep.
With the fact that I think how he chose basketball. Because so many kids, little boys especially, or girls too, you know, sports.
That's right.
And the analogy he uses and the concept that he used, I think is fantastic.
Yeah, and you know, sports can be a great way, as you know, as he talks about in the book, to get these kids to kind of overcome that and get these kids to, you know, empower them to rise above it and find strategies to end bullying. So.
Exactly. And I want to invite the community in as well. Now, if you would like to talk to Eduardo, did I say it again? See, I got that.
You're 2 for 2. There you go.
If you want to talk to him and have questions about the event that's coming up on the 28th, feel free, because I always invite you to be a part of this conversation. 850-432-7768. You can call or text, because if you don't know, then ask questions. If you want to attend, then be there. And if you're within the first 100, you get a free copy of the book.
You do.
I mean, come on, please. And believe me, it is worthwhile being there. Now, let's talk about when it comes to the community level. I'm talking Pensacola now. I'm talking the things that you do with the communication, you do that you work with over there with Quint. And hey, Quint, I know he's not here, but
he'll be watching sometime, I'm sure.
But I appreciate the fact of what he does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that, and the people that works around him is so, I can see it. You understand what I'm saying when I say see what he believes in and his strategies, even with this CivicCon. Who named that?
CivicCon?
Who came up with it to do it here? That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, it was a group of people, but Quint was the one who said, we'll call it CivicCon.
I knew it.
Civic Conversations. he kind of just, it just rolls off, you know, rolls off the top of the head.
It does. So, and I mean, but then it sticks.
That's right. Yeah, and it stuck. I mean, that was way back in 2017.
That's a long time ago.
And it was only intended to be a one-year series, actually. A lot of people don't know that. It was only supposed to be kind of a one-year community engagement project. And then people loved it, so it just kept going.
Oh, wow. You see, guys, this is what I'm saying. When you tune into Sunshine's Corner, you're going to find out everything, the history, the beginning, and how you can be a part of it as well. We're not only talking about other things that's in the community and around the community that's doing, because there's so many other things that we have begun to touch that's happening, that's coming up, that we want to share with the community so they can be a part of it.
We got a lot.
And it's so important that we keep the community involved in things like this, so we can only cause our community to become better.
That's right.
And this is our total focus, so we can get it better. And CivicCon is one of those ways. We're going to be back and talk more about CivicCon, and there are some other events that's coming up that we want you to make sure you get that pen and pad, write it down, so you can be a part of it right here on Sunshine's Corner.
Good day, Pensacola. Welcome to a new segment on health and wellness sponsored by Baptist Healthcare in partnership with Sunshine's Corner. Every first Wednesday of the month during Sunshine's telecast, we're going to be bringing you information about health and wellness and ways to make sure we're improving the quality of your health care here in Pensacola. After all, we want to ensure that you're going to the right place at the right time and for the right reason, and that you don't feel alone. Can't wait to see you.
Many who consider facial plastic surgery are concerned their results will look unnatural. But with over 20 years of serving the Pensacola community, his thousands of satisfied patients have made Dr. Derek Jones a trusted reconstructive and facial plastic surgeon known for industry-leading results that look natural. Call 850-484-FACE to schedule a consultation at one of our locations in Pensacola and Gulf Breeze.
I'm Dr. Derek Jones. Trust your face to a facial plastic surgeon.
I vote because my mother voted. She was 40 years old, and I was 20 when she first voted. She said, Mamie Lee, take me to the registration office or wherever I need to go so that I can register to vote. So I vote for that reason, and I want everybody else to vote. Don't just talk. You got to walk it like you talk it, and when you walk it, you are voting. So vote. I'm Mamie Webb Hickson, Director of the Writing Lab at the University of West Florida. Just vote.
Animal Allies is looking for volunteers, and there are many ways that you can help. From taking care of cats to using your computer and social media skills, any and all assistance is greatly appreciated. We have morning and afternoon shifts every day or help at adoption events. You can even foster a kitty at home. And it counts towards community service hours for bright futures. Find Animal Allies Florida on Facebook and Instagram, or go to aaflorida.org/volunteer.
And welcome back to the hottest spot in town. And today is a great Wednesday. It's all with information. And I want to certainly invite you, encourage you to attend CivicCon that's coming up on October the 28th.
That's right.
And that's going to be at the church at
First United Methodist Church. That's at 2 East Wright Street in downtown Pensacola.
Everybody knows where that great big white building is.
It's a big,
I may not know the address, but I know where it is.
It's a beautiful white building, right?
Exactly.
In the corner, yeah.
And you know, let's share this too now. Even now the event's coming up, we've got this gentleman here who's coming in that's got this great book that's going to talk about bullying and what you can do to help prevent that with the young people. But also, now, we talked about the fact that even after CivicCon, there's ways that people are going to get awards.
That's right. So our CivicCon Awards are coming up on Monday, December 2nd. So the reason I bring that up months out is because we need nominations. We want the community to choose our award winners. So what we do is we put out an announcement that has a nomination form with all different categories of the awards, and the community can write in on people that they think are doing good work and deserve to be recognized, because a lot of people are doing good stuff out there that don't get recognized.
You hit the ball on the, you hit the nail on the head, because it's a lot of people that I see that are doing the work, and sometimes it becomes repetitious. I mean, so let's recognize some of these other people who are out there doing this great work, and then that's only going to inspire them to pass that torch on to get somebody else to do some of that good work. I mean, that's great. So that's going to be on December the
2nd.
And when do you think the list will come out? Because if CivicCon's going to be on the 28th, so we're saying somewhere between that time span of November?
Sure. So the nomination form will go out this week.
This week?
That's right. So this week you'll see an announcement about how to submit your nominations. That's a really easy form. You just go online, you submit your name, your phone number, and just nominate your people, tell us why. And you got a lot of different categories to choose from. Some people, they might not know every single category. They might not be very involved in, walkability or environmentalism, but they know who deserves a placemaking award. Or they may not be involved in the placemaking award, but they know somebody who's really good about government transparency. Because that's another award category that we do.
Really?
So, yeah, it gives you the option to select who you want to nominate and who's deserving. So
what did you say? Walkability.
Yeah, so walkability, it's one of those things you know it when you see it. You know it when you're walking around. So downtown Pensacola is a very walkable place. You've got.
I do it all the time.
That's right. You've got narrow streets. You've got places where people enjoy walking. So there's lots of shade, lots of room. You don't feel like you're going to get run over by a truck, and it makes it safer and more enjoyable. People are actually happier and more connected when they are able to walk to and from the things that they need. So.
And what did you call that?
Walkability. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because now I see, because I feel safe, because it's even I like to do it in the evenings because it's lit up.
Yeah, that's right.
It's safe.
That's a big part.
And
of it.
I mean, and I do 3 or 4 miles. So I've got a route that I do downtown.
Yep.
That is great. So listen up, guys. Get the walkability. Downtown Pensacola.
That's right. And it just leads to a healthier community in general. I mean, you're happier, healthier. Any of the cool places that you've been, I'm sure, if you tell your friend you went to a cool city and you're like, oh, I was doing this, I was doing that.
Absolutely.
Chances are it was a very walkable place.
I love
because
that.
you just want to get out and be in it.
Absolutely.
Not drive through it. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, but even with CivicCon, I'm talking about this because I'm hearing and I'm finding out other things that I think they're so intriguing that the community needs to know to be a part of it. Now, I'll say this too. Now, we're going to give awards to people coming from CivicCon. Then you need to attend CivicCon.
That's right.
So you can be more informative about what's going on and what CivicCon does, that you will be better equipped to nominate.
Exactly.
Okay, somebody who's going to win that award. Yeah. Don't just say, "Oh, I won the award. I just want to say thank you, Mom." I mean, do you understand what I'm saying?
Exactly. Come out, get involved. We nominate and we select plenty of people who aren't CivicCon members, but who do things that we cover. They may not have been to a CivicCon meeting yet, but I tell you, a lot of the people that we do give awards to, they end up coming to CivicCon. They end up becoming very involved. And it's to highlight the ideas that we talk about. You know what I mean? So, we always say we do the educating. The community goes out and does the implementation. They're the ones who actually, it's a rubber to the road, and they're actually doing the work. So.
Okay, now at CivicCon, now we've talked about the guest speaker. Now, what else is going on the 28th that day? Tell me all the other activities that's going to be there at the church. Not only just a guest speaker, but it's going to be other people involved doing things?
So, well, that day it's mostly just the speaker. We'll have him in, we'll take him around town, we'll tell him about just Pensacola, kind of the background, give him some, local Pensacola flair. And then the next day he has a workshop. It's a small workshop.
That's where I'm going.
Yeah, so that will be at Maritime Place downtown. That's 350 West Cedar. And that's a workshop where you can dive a little deeper into the topic of bullying. So if you want to talk, you have specific questions you want to ask Tom in person, you can do that. So the workshops is usually something we do the next day with the speaker. And that just gives people an opportunity to dive deeper into the topic. And,
okay, so now let's say by us just talking about this, I'm talking about CivicCon. If I go to the event, does that qualify me to come to the next event?
Yes, yes. So we always say, we never turn anybody away, but we strongly recommend you come to the evening presentation the night before, just to get that background, get to, hear the information, because the speaker doesn't want to cover the same things twice.
Well, of course.
He wants to go further. So, and with those workshops, you can RSVP for those by emailing me at elara@civicconversations.org. So you let me know you want to come to that workshop. I'll put your name down on the list. It's really easy.
Absolutely. He's good at it too, man. He'll tell you quick. You need to do this. Boop, he'll call you.
That's it.
Now, this event, everybody, so you know, it's going to be in the evening from 6 until 7:30.
6 to 7:30.
So therefore, you're already off work. And I always ask this, are there going to be snacks there?
Yes, there will. So the Wesley Abbey building of First United Methodist Church actually has a little coffee shop right in there. And it's totally volunteer run. It's run by volunteer staff of the church, and they're wonderful people. They're really nice. They'll get you whatever coffees, snacks, treats you want.
Exactly.
And it's right there. It's attached. You walk right down the hall, and then you're where the presenter is speaking. So
that's why I say that, because of the fact, because when you're leaving work, you don't have to worry about let me run and go do this, so you can get yourself something to hold you over, because it's over with at 7:30. That you can go and you won't hear your stomach making that noise.
That's right. Yeah. We
just make it laugh, okay? But that's a serious point, because that's something good that they can know. It's in the evening. It's not during the day. And now, and the next part, the next day, where you got the conference, what time is that?
So that is from 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah, we try to do that early,
that's
just
still.
so people, so they can get to work afterwards. You might, be a little, just call and say, hey, I'm doing a workshop about bullying, and hopefully they'll give you some slack there. But so we do those early, and then you can go on about the rest of your day.
And who would want to learn about this? Because I see here he said that there are approximately 20% of students between the ages of 12 to 18 report being bullied at school.
That's right.
My goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's an attention factor. I don't know.
Again, there's lots of different factors to it, and he'll talk about that. He'll talk about some of the reasons that it happens, but it's especially where social media could be a big part of it. We're connected but isolated at the same time. It's not always as easy as saying, oh, you're spending too much time on your phone. It's not that simple, but that's definitely a factor. So.
Right, and understand that we're talking now, the professional is Tom. Now he's the one.
That's right. Yeah. Don't listen to me. That Tom is Tom.
He and I, we're having a conversation. But this gentleman right here, Stop Bullying Together. This is the gentleman that's going to be able to give you the number, the percentages, the topic on what it is when it comes to bullying, and maybe some of the things why he can use some of his instances of what happened in his life with his child that can better you with the things that you're dealing with in your child. And I think that this also, you might not know some of the signs that he may point out.
Yeah, and he, I had him actually on our podcast the other day. CivicCon has a podcast called CivicCast, and one of the first things he says is, intervene right away. It's never too early if you think something's, if you think you're seeing the signs that your child is being bullied, step in right away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's going to give those examples of things, because I think you said something else I think that parents need to be aware of, and I'm strongly behind this: social media. Whew. When I say social media, I think that's a platform where people feel like, even our young people, that this is the place where I can just let it out.
Yeah.
Here's my platform. I can speak out on what I can. And with the fact that if you're being bullied, or if that's the case, then don't you know that other person is reading it too? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's if you're somebody who's being bullied at school, that means you leave school and you're still being bullied.
Yeah, it's right there with you. That's a strong topic. I mean, I'm sure that when you say bullying, I mean, I know that we have grandparents or parents that's watching the show. And I mean, even this is important for you, that you need to be a part of this to learn more. Because let's say mom and dad gonna drop the kids off at grandma's house.
Yep.
Okay, grandma knows some of these signs that's not right, so grandma needs to learn as well.
Yeah.
Auntie, cousin, everybody, the entire family. I believe in a whole, if we put everything together, we're working toward the same goal to bring up prevention.
Exactly.
Because it gets to a point now kids are killing themselves because of things like that.
Exactly.
You know?
It takes the whole community. You know, it's not just the parents. You know, like you said, it's the grandmas, the uncles, it's the aunts. It's the teachers, it's the coaches, it's the therapists, it's the,
everybody.
It's everybody. It's a community.
You said something strongly there too when you talk about a therapist, and we're trying to also work toward getting people to realize therapy is good for everybody.
Yeah.
It's okay. Let's get rid of the stigma when it comes to therapy.
Yeah, like
and you hear so many young people going to the high level of killing.
Yeah.
And then you read about it and say, well, it started off, they were bullied here and the bullying there. So here is a preventive measure that's going to be coming up on October 28th. Knowledge is power. What you need to do is plan to be there. That's going to be taking place. CivicCon. It's going to be at First United Methodist Church, Wesley Abbey Boulevard.
Wesley Abbey Building, yep.
Oh, that's the building, right?
That's the building, yeah.
That's right. And so therefore, that's on 2 East Wright Street. That's a mouthful.
It is. But it's the big, beautiful White House right on the corner.
The big, pretty, you've been past it a million times.
Can't miss
I know, Deborah High. I used to ask that question, what is this? She told me about this girl that walks with me. And I just asked her about that building. So the fact of it is something coming up. Now, there are other things that's coming up we're going to touch as well.
Yep.
Because of the fact there's so many things in the community, I think if we collectively put our resources together, when it comes to the good things, when it comes to the knowledge, everything is not going to be always just, let's go have a ha 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 ha. We need to get the knowledge so that we'll be able to combat some of the things that's happening with our children. And our children, what we've got to realize, that's our future. And if we don't get them keep them on the right path, how can we not attend CivicCon to learn more on how and what we can do to come up with preventive measures that will combat some of the problems that we're having.
Exactly.
And I thank so much for it. We think back in 2017 this is going to be a one-time deal. Now it's almost 2017.
Yeah.
I mean 27.
Yeah.
It's just that long how time has flown by. But look, there's something about Quentin Studer. When he sees something, when he has a vision, and he writes it down, he brings it out. It has a point to it to make a difference, and it's all about the community.
Yeah, and he stuck with it too. I mean, it's we're very appreciative for Quentin Rishi Studer for being the primary funder this whole time, and we've got an excellent board who are very dedicated as well.
Exactly.
They do a lot of hard work as well to keep the series running. So,
exactly.
And to keep the Center for Civic Engagement running.
Exactly. Now let's flip another page.
Sure.
We'll come back to this and refresh their mind. But you told me about some other events that are coming up.
Yes.
Now we've got the Pensacola Strategic Planning.
That's right.
Now what is that? Tell me about it.
Yes, we're excited about that one. That's, if you remember, this summer, Pensacola hired an urban planning firm to come in and help do the Pensacola Strategic Plan for the next 10 years. So it was called Pensacola Strive to Thrive 2035. And so that involved a lot of research, a lot of community input, and a lot of planning to see what, there's a lot of growth going on in Pensacola and the surrounding areas. So
Absolutely.
So that comes with some growing pains. So
Absolutely.
how can you address those problems that really benefits everybody, not just some people? So this urban planning firm, Gale, G-E-H-L, they came in and they worked with the community to get a plan made, and it's taken a few months, and now they are going to unveil it on Tuesday, November 12th.
Really?
That's right.
I mean, you see, I mean, keep working on those things that work together, and it's all about good. I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
That's right.
And what we're going to talk about more, I want to know more about that, because I think that is great, because I love what it's called Pensacola Strategic Planning. That's coming up in November. You stay close, because we're going to talk more, and we've got other events that we're going to talk about that all comes from Mr. Communicator himself, and of course, we'll tell you all about it right here on Sunshine's Corner.
You finally found the perfect car in racing blue. You even got them to throw in the LED fog lights for free. Auto Owners insures your car because some people never learn to parallel park. That's simple human sense.
Ask the Messick Insurance Agency in Pensacola if auto owners make sense for you.
Keep going, more. No, stop!
I am going to vote. I vote because I want my voice heard. For many years, people like me were silenced. Women were silenced. So I vote to make sure that my voice will be heard. I'm Dr. Yvonne Capehart, and I encourage you to just vote.
Watch a new episode of Crime Stoppers Wanted Fugitives every Friday at 6 p.m., hosted by Sergeant Melanie Peterson and David Craig. Your tips may be eligible for a cash reward, featuring items about officer training, various aspects of police work, and crime prevention information. You'll hear about upcoming family-friendly engagement events as well. Don't miss Crime Stoppers Wanted Fugitives every Friday at 6 p.m.
Well, I think it's all about local, and I'm a big believer in local. So I think anytime you can carry a message out locally, it's important. And I think it's anytime the person that delivers the service can also deliver the message, which is unusual. You have the people that actually deliver the project doing the talking, and I think that's a huge difference, and really makes a huge value difference for the consumer. So I'm really just so grateful that we have this local opportunity with Blab TV. My name is Quint Studer, and I am Blab TV.
And welcome back to this great conversation that we're sharing with you on this Wednesday, this hump day. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about areas of Pensacola, things that are coming up that can benefit and make it all better for all of us. And I believe, and you know my philosophy, and I was just telling Eduardo that if you talk about it collectively, put those resources together, we can make it better for everybody.
Absolutely.
And that's what this is when I've learned the concept now of CivicCon. Now we're talking about that Pensacola strategic planning that's coming up in November. We want to. How do people get to be a part of that? I mean, what does that consist of? How can they get involved?
Sure. So the event will be Tuesday, November 12th. We have not determined a venue yet.
I understand.
But if you go to, if you Google CivicCon, you find our events.
Yep.
That will be posted very soon with all the details on how to get involved. It'll be a free event, open for the community. Anybody can come and learn about what the strategic plan is for Pensacola for the next 10 years.
Absolutely. What about the Paddle Park project? Is that something you work with?
That's part of the active transportation plan that's being implemented right now. So it's still in the kind of the planning phase, and that's going to take more community input, and then I think that's going to start, actually being created in 2020. 25?
Okay,
no, I might be wrong. Again, I'm not the expert on that, but it's going to take more planning. The first photos that we saw, those renders, that's
absolutely. So when you get that started, you're talking about a couple of years.
By the time it's all said and done, it could probably be a couple of years. But I think it'll start, next year at some time. I think.
Okay.
But again, you probably want to talk to Caitlin Sarame about that. She's the Pensacola transportation planner.
Oh, I
and
got
she
you.
was actually also on our podcast a couple weeks ago. So
how do we find the podcast so people can watch that?
Yeah, so anywhere you listen to podcasts, just search CivicCast. CivicCast. So really easy. We've got 6 or 7 episodes right now. We try to do about one a month. And so recently we had Caitlin Sarame from the city. So she's actually got all the knowledge about the Palafox project and other transportation things going on in town. And then, then just last week, I think, is when we had Tom Dahlborg on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here you go. You start this podcast up. Do you do it?
Yeah. So I record.
You better go on now.
yeah. So it's I've never done a podcast before, so but it's fun. I like it. So I get to talk with all these people who really know their stuff. So
exactly.
That's the coolest part about the job for me is I get to talk with these people all the time who are just the experts in their field, and
you're getting all that knowledge, just absorbing everything.
I'm just trying to soak it all up, and it's fun stuff.
I understand. Now, we were talking about the CivicCon Awards that's going to be coming up. That this is going to go up probably when? Today? Tomorrow?
Well, the nomination form will be out this week.
Good, smoothly.
Yeah, so then you'll get a chance to select people that you think are deserving of these different categories. So I think we've got 10 different categories. So there's the Environmental Award, there's the Government Transparency Award, Placemaking Award, and you can learn more about what those categories are. There'll be a story in the P&J that'll be released to tell you what the categories are, so you know what you're nominating
right,
for. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, we mentioned the mayor, something that's coming up with him.
That's right, yeah. So Mayor D.C. Reeves will be doing another State of the City address. That will be Thursday, December 5th.
Okay.
So we're working on a venue for that as well. We've got a couple different places in mind. Nothing's solidified yet, but again, you follow CivicCon and you'll be
Will
the
the
first
community
to
be able to partake in that?
Absolutely. Anybody from the community can join. It'll be a free event, like all CivicCon events. It'll be free to the public, and you'll learn about what the mayor and his administration have, what they've done so far this year, some of the things they're planning for next year, and there's some things that they're working on.
Everything has a con to it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I like that. Now, there's something else that's coming up in November. Entrecon?
So Entrecon will be, that's around the week of the strategic plan event. I think that's the next. I don't want to mess it up because my friends at SCI will.
I believe is when it's going to be. That's the kickoff date.
Yes.
I mean, but what I'm saying is all these events are benefiting the community.
Yeah, there's a lot
and
going
they're educating the community on things because of what's that's coming up. Because I know that's going to be a couple of days.
It's a 2-day event. It's really cool.
2 days, and that's going to be a whole lot of knowledge there. And we want to invite everybody to be a part of that so they can log on to the website and get that too, right?
Yeah, that you can search Entrecon or Studer Community Institute. If you go to studeri.org, you'll see all the stuff about Entrecon and the dates, how to buy your tickets and speakers and stuff coming up. They've got a great lineup this year. So,
exactly. Yeah. I'll be there.
Awesome. I'll see you there.
No doubt. So what we're saying, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we're only touching the surface because there's so much going on. There are things that possibly you didn't know about. And what's right now top of mind is, to me, to pass this information so that we can get all the parents, to get the entire community involved in CivicCon that's coming up on the 28th of October. That is right around the corner.
Yep.
Why do I say that's so important to me? Because I read, I hear, I know about the things that are happening with bullying, how it affects our children. And that is so utterly important to us as, you may not be a parent, but you're an aunt. You may not be a parent, but you're a cousin. You understand what I'm saying? There is a relation, there's a connection there that we all need to be really knowledgeable about, because there are sometimes, even if you're just a friend who like to have kids over, these are places where you need to go and get out and find out what you need to do with Thomas right here, because Thomas has all of these books that you will be able to get one free.
That's right.
For the first 100.
The first 100 people to show up to his event get a free copy of the book.
I mean, and that's excellent. Now, if anybody has, I want to find out if people are listening today or watching perhaps, they've gone through and there are things that they've noticed when it comes to bullying. And maybe if there's a factor or something that, if they don't mind sharing, what they had to do in that point, because everybody has different stories of factors on how to handle things. And maybe you'll find a way that you can work with your child and to get something to prevent. I believe in preventive measures.
Yes.
I believe if you put anything into it worthwhile, then therefore you can find ways to help the child and prevent. You hear kids hanging themselves. I mean, that has got to be traumatic. That has got to be something that's so difficult to deal with. So if you want to find out ways to better and to get better with that, in this book that you would get one free if you come to CivicCon that's coming up on the 28th. This is how I think putting in together to make that change.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just a small thing you can do to educate yourself, to get out there, meet with other parents who are also, again, not just parents, but meet with other people who are also interested in the topic.
Exactly. Because it's so utterly important. And I think that if you did a podcast with this gentleman here, and what does not work to stop bullying, he's going to talk about that, is practical actions that we can take each day to stop it. I mean, I wish I had him on here with us too. Woo-wee. That would have been great. But
we can probably we'll talk to him if you're available. We'd love to.
We can have him. He can do a Zoom call.
Yeah.
And we can have him on the show and talk about these things that we can be able to share with the community, so that we can make sure that we are doing our part to try to stop what it is. And CivicCon is one way that you can come out and be a part of it. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, don't let this opportunity pass you, okay? Because here are things that this gentleman is talking about that I think that's so much needed. I look at some people, and even with adults, what do you call it? I wonder what you call it when it's an adult. I mean, because I think they have low self-esteem, some of them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing, if these kind of things could
trickle down.
It comes from your childhood and you carry it into your adulthood. And
exactly.
That's one of the things Tom was telling me on the podcast, is like the effects of bullying are enormous when you think about like you said, a person's self-esteem. I mean, that affects their ability to meet people, to find a partner, to find a job, to find, to do the things they want to do. So it's that has an effect on the economy, that has the effect on crime, that has an effect on everything. So.
And so what we got to do, though, for this solution, I think, to do it effectively, we need the solution as a community. I think that's what we're talking about, to get the community in as a whole, that we can put your ideas and what you've done together so that we can effectively bring about change. And don't sit there and just wait around for somebody else to do it. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just real, being very transparent as possible, that people need to know it's okay. And don't be embarrassed. I think sometimes they think, is it my fault? It's not your fault. Things happen. And you can't be with that child 24/7, even with the teachers. I'll say to them, our kids spend how much time? Half of the time with them, because when they come home, they do the homework, they got to go to bed. You understand what I'm saying? So therefore, we've got to be able to listen to the teachers. And sometimes I feel like sometimes parents don't want to accept the fact. I can remember one time when my kid was smaller, I said, no, he didn't. I went to the school. Yes, he did. But I'm woman enough to say, okay, I was wrong, and he was trying to pull the wool over my eyes. But are we ready to accept that? So we need to find out ways that we can combat these problems that we're having, and that is coming up on the 28th, so you can be a part of it. And I just say thank you for all the hard work that you're putting into it to get it out there.
Oh no, please, I thank Tom and the CivicCon board who put me in a position where I can be a part of an event like this.
Absolutely. And when given to you, honey, much is required. And you are handling your part just well. And it's all about the fact of making a difference right here in Pensacola. And with the things that are happening as we see, I think also for the parents, and I keep harping on the parents. I know a lot of the parents at work, but let me say this. You'll be able to watch this show again today at 6 o'clock. And there are things that you can put in together that we can come up with other ideas, because that's what he even says in one of his statements here. He says that what we got to do is we need community solutions to address this problem effectively. It's not just it's us. That's right. So let's not set apart. Let's put a plea out there for the parents, for the teachers, for everybody to go and attend this event so we can come up with a community solution to make a difference, because bullying is real.
Yeah, it takes everybody, and that's why it can't just be on the teachers, can't just be on the parents. We all kind of share.
That's not. I mean, forget the practicality of it. You know what I'm saying? We just got to do what we got to do. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about the gentleman that's headed into town. Tom, what's his last name?
Dahlborg.
Yeah, Dahlborg. I didn't want to mess it up. Thomas Dahlborg. He's coming into town, the internationally recognized speaker and writer. He focuses on stopping bullying and amplifying positive childhood experiences. That's also spoken up in the book about the positive experience. This gentleman is on his way to town. It's going to be October the 28th from 6 until 7:30 p.m. But ladies and gentlemen, we can't do it alone. You've got to do your part to come out to this event. please come out to this event October 28th. And when we come back, we're going to recap everything that we've gone over today, so you can write these things down so you can make sure that you do your part and be there right here on Sonshine's Corner.
I had a lot of family growing up that voting was the key factor to life and what you want in your future. I have 4 children, and I want to make a difference for them in our future. We gotta vote. You gotta have a voice. I'm Samantha Williams, and I encourage you to just vote.
Lloyd's Glass and Correct Calibration Services is a one-stop shop because you can come get your windshield replaced, and right behind that replacement at the same appointment, we will calibrate the cameras, and when you leave, everything's ready to go. There's no need to go to the dealership, or there's no need to come back for another appointment. We just take care of it at one time. We put the customer first, and we strive to do everything right the first time.
Lloyd's Glass and Correct Calibration Services, your one-stop shop with same-day service.
Gilmarine, your one-stop shop for all your boating needs. We offer a vast selection of parts, accessories, and electronics. Discover our range of used boats in every size, shape, and brand, all ready to get you on the water today. And we provide expert advice and top-notch customer service to ensure you have the best boating experience. We service all outboard, inboards, stern drives, jet drives, and personal watercraft. Our certified staff will get you back on the water. Visit Gilmarine at 3541 West Fairfield Drive, Pensacola.
My father told us he paid the cost to be the boss, which meant whatever he told you to do, you better do. So we were told you must vote. He would sit us down at a round table and go over the reasons why you needed to vote, why it was so important, that he fought for us to make sure that we could vote, and that we were to fight for ourselves and for his grandchildren. My name is Jill Lewis-Daggs. I am the state committee woman for Okaloosa County, and I'm here to tell you, just vote.
And welcome back to the hottest spot in town. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. Eduardo and I were talking about big boats. We saw those boats. Yeah. We were talking.
Gratitude.
I want that boat downtown called Gratitude. I always tell everybody, that's my boat. You can take a picture by this. I'm not going to charge you.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
You see that boat drives, it catches everybody. But you see, that's what we call that walk or what?
Walkability.
That's walkability.
That's right,
because that's another key. That's why I walkability. You walking by my boat. That, you know what I'm saying? My yacht, should I say.
Cool places to walk, near the water, cool things to see, to look at, nice wide sidewalks, stuff like that. Yeah.
I can say that because I'll say this, and I will say that Pensacola downtown has grown tremendously. Mm-hmm. It has changed tremendously because when I first moved here, I said, this downtown? Yeah. And now?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm there I want to go every chance I get. Mm-hmm. It's somewhere I want to go downtown. Yeah. It's absolutely beautiful. But I say that to say with the walkability, the things that we're using, we're talking about today. And for all of us that are tuned in today, I thank you so very much for talking to us about the things that you want to hear. And that's what this show is all about. Mm-hmm. I'm about community. I'm talking about local. I believe in being local, and this is local TV right here in Pensacola. Mm-hmm. And we invite everybody to come on to find out what's happening in your community. Mm-hmm. Local, local. Good morning.
Good morning. This is caller from Las Vegas, Nevada. I know your time running short. I wanted to ask Mr. Eduardo, will this event, will they have anybody from the Favor House to come in maybe to have a setup or something to talk to people? Because a lot of time in the social work, child welfare field, where there's bullying, there's also a correlation of domestic violence in the home, because when people have, especially children, when they have no control in their home, they try to have control outside of the home. And then that would kind of leads up to domestic violence when you become older. Right. And so I just wanted to check and see if that may be somebody that's going to be there on that aspect.
Well, that's a great idea. We haven't had anybody from Favor House, we haven't been in contact with anybody there, but I think that's a great idea. I'd love to if anybody from Faber House, if I can get their contact information, I can reach out to them, and I think that's a great idea because it is, like you said, those kind of problems, they're all connected. So,
absolutely.
But thank you. I'm gonna try to reach out to them and see if we can get a representative there and just somebody to help. I don't know, set up a booth or something.
Something that's right. That would be good. Yeah. So we'll say it like this: if there's someone who's watching, if you know how, reach out to us. Let us know how.
You can email me at elara@civicconversations.org.
And if you just key in Civic, guess what? Your name pops up first.
That's right.
If you key in CivicCon,
there you go.
Your name pops up first with all of your the house to get in touch with you, your information. And I think you from Las Vegas, Nevada. That calling.
Thank you.
I mean, we appreciate that because even though it may be happening in Las Vegas, Nevada as well, but we're talking about it right here in Pensacola, and we know that this is how we make a difference by coming together. And thank you so very much for calling in with that great question.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, and have a blessed event.
All righty. Bye-bye. And everybody, listen to this. You can be a part of this conversation. I tell everybody every day, there may be something that you can share with us that give us something else to think about. But the fact...
Yeah, that was a great
idea.
idea.
Are you going to have booths at CivicCon?
I think we can set up a booth or two. There's no problem. We usually have a group called CNAP come in. They're the Council of Neighborhood Area Presidents of Pensacola. So just neighborhood associations of Pensacola. They set up a little booth. And they're another group that we love that just, they get out there and they give people the opportunity to make change in their neighborhood.
Absolutely. We're not just talking about everybody who wants to come out and say, okay, I got a pencil for sale.
Yeah, there's only so much space. I mean, but that's a great idea. I mean, the Faber House thing, that's a great suggestion.
Because there is a connection there, and I believe that. So if there's someone who's watching that has that connection, please, if you key in, if you Google CivicCon, the first name is going to pop up is yours.
Yep.
And I mean, all of your contact information is there. And what we want them to do is to take the time to reach out to you, to talk to you, because there's something, if there's a way that we can get this connected to make it even better, add on, make it better, make it better, make it better.
Yeah.
And remember, it's going to be only for an hour and a half. It's going to be from 6 until 7:30 on October the 28th. And so therefore, we can't have everybody in the city sign up for a booth, but we can if there's something that's going to be potentially to help with this discussion that we're going to be talking about in bullying. The gentleman here, Mr. Tom Dahlborg, I was going to say something else. Mr. Tom Dahlborg, he's going to be the guest speaker. October 28th from 6 until 7:30 at First United Methodist Church. There's 2 East Wright Street, CivicCon. And please keep in mind too, because we're down to our last 5 minutes. I want to give a rough draft what we've covered. CivicCon is on the 28th. Then that's kicking up. By the end of the week, they'll be able to log on and nominate people to win the CivicCon Awards. That's right. And they'll be able to find out all of that by going to?
That you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, just by searching CivicCon. You'll see the form, a nomination form. That'll be for our awards that aren't until December 2nd.
Exactly.
We like to get lots of nominations and choose people from the community.
Exactly. And that I think that's great. That also gives the other people another chance to work toward. If I didn't get it this year, maybe I'll get it next year. To work hard.
A lot of times sometimes we get some of the same names because these people just keep going. They just keep doing great work, which is awesome. We love people going out there and doing that.
But the fact of it is for everybody.
Exactly. There's a lot of people out there who don't get the recognition.
Exactly. So if you're one of those everybody's who don't feel like you don't get the recognition, but you're working hard, here's your opportunity. Don't forget to be there. It's absolutely free. That's going to be taking place on the 28th. Don't miss out on that opportunity where you can learn more. And I want to invite the teachers.
Absolutely.
I want to really encourage, I know they're at work right now, but they will get the opportunity to see the show later today. But I really want to focus on having them because they spend a lot of time with our children, that they can come to this event on October 28th because it's only for an hour and a half. So therefore you can learn things that you can see and apply in the classroom that you see that we as the parent don't get to see.
Yeah, we try to invite a lot of teachers, principals, like I said, guidance counselors, anybody from the school system. We try to get them out there because they're a huge part of it. You can't put it all on the teachers in the school system, but
absolutely
they're a big part of it. And teachers, parents, counselors, coaches, everybody.
No doubt.
Grandmas, uncles, all that stuff.
The whole community.
Yep.
Now this is an event that I want to see that's overflowing. I want to see everybody there so that we can make a difference. October 28th. And I want to say to you, Eduardo, thank you for getting up, coming in. Thank you for this opportunity to talk about all that you're doing to make it even better in our community. I know that you do a lot because I see, and I know that there's a lot of work behind it. And I want to say thank you for all the time and the effort that you're putting into so that we can have a better place right here in Pensacola. Thank you for all the questions, and I went a little off, going another way to come back at you, but you were ready for it.
No problem. Thank you.
And I appreciate the fact of what you're doing. And of course, working with Quint Studer, I thank him for his vision.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I'm lucky to be in the position I am.
You know, he has a vision, and it is really to better Escambia County.
Yeah.
I mean, right here at home. So ladies and gentlemen, don't you allow these opportunities to pass you because of the fact that we're telling you that these events are absolutely free. You don't, all you've got to do, the pay you're going to get, the pay that you need to get in the door is to get in your car and get on over there, okay? And then don't forget, and I keep looking for the event afterwards. Don't forget about the other event that's going to be coming up in the city. We got one for November. And we're going to keep you posted on that because I'm going to have Eduardo give me all the information so I can keep that going about things that with the mayor and everything.
Yeah, and I'll say one more thing too. If you absolutely can't make it out to the event, our events are live streamed from the Pensacola News Journal Facebook page.
There you go.
We love to see you in person. We want you to come in person, but if you can't, you can get on the PNJ Facebook and you'll see it for free.
Absolutely, so you can be a part. It's time for me to get out of here. It's been a fantastic Wednesday, but let me say it to you like this, as I say every single day. Never, ever, ever lose your focus, my dear friends. Always remember to keep God first in whatever you do. When you handle your situation like that, I guarantee you this, you're going to be a total success. So until tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock for another day of nothing but sunshine right here at Sunshine's Corner, know that I love you with a perfect kind of love. Keep shining while I'm gone. And I look to see everybody October 28th at CivicCon. And thank you for all that you do.
Thank you, Sunshine.
Sunshine's Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer.